Hello, The Feeling.
Hello.
We are back after 2 years with a new album, Boy Cried Wolf, under a new record label as well. How does it feel being back on tour with your new album?
With this particular album, it's been a real joy to be touring. Just because we're so proud of the album, we're so proud of the work we've been doing, and the record is so easy to play live because the way we recorded it, we just had 5 of us in our pub making music, and so coming out and doing it in front of people every night is a pleasure.
Yeah, we heard about the pub. That's the pub that you actually bought and turned into your house. Is that right, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a running pub at the time when I bought it. It had been closed for about 10 years. So it was a kind of empty space, and I moved in upstairs and we turned the main pub floor into a recording studio.
I think that's every student's dream, to live in a pub. I mean, you spend most of your years at uni in a pub, and then to finally live in one, that's quite cool. Because the first album was recorded in someone's shed. Yeah. Am I right in thinking that?
Our parents' shed at the bottom of the garden. So this album had a sort of similar feel in a way, just us bunch of guys recording, sort of jamming stuff late at night and all that. Same sort of vibe, if you will.
Just less shed-like and more pub-like.
Yeah.
Is there still any bar left in the pub?
A little bit. There's a little bit of bar. Just enough to give it the feel. Yeah.
Will you come to my rescue once again? Will you search through the wreckage once again? Will you turn on your flashlight and scan for the signs of life again? Oh.
Do you think now being with the new record label, it's kind of the commercial pressure, I guess, has kind of lifted a little bit, and it's more just you guys making music because you want to make music?
Yes. It was so funny, actually, because we never felt any commercial pressure because we're not those kind of guys, but unfortunately the deal that we were in meant that there was a lot of pressure on the people that we were working with, and they were anxious because their jobs were on the line and they had accountants leaning on them, And that's what happens in a business once you become successful. It's very hard for people to treat you with the same relaxed atmosphere that you have on your first record. And your first record's almost quite relaxed because no one's expecting anything, and they're just you're along with all the other acts that they've signed. It's just a chance for them to make some money back. And when you suddenly make a lot of money for them, all of a sudden all eyes are on you. And the whole atmosphere changes, and the whole way that they treat you and speak to you and the way that they behave with you changes. And it's really hard to stop to be normal. It's just really hard to just get in the studio and do what you love for the love of it, because everyone else is doing it for other reasons. And that just affected us, for a while. But we felt much more with this record that we were back to basics, and we're just not going to focus on that stuff. We're going to ignore what everyone says, and we're just going to make the record we want to make. And the result of that is a record which is solid and much more characterful.
Oh, I never thought that it would be this hard to find love. Oh, I never thought that it would be this hard to find love.
From a songwriting point of view, at any point does it get easier? If now you're on your 4th album, you've won an Ivor Novello Award, we know you're a good songwriter, we know the band makes amazing music. Does it get easier or harder to kind of produce the goods?
I know what you mean. No, I thought it was getting harder until it came to writing this record, and actually writing this record was very easy. And I did think it was getting harder at one point because things were starting to dry up in the writing, and things were starting to feel a bit more pressured but I think that's just, I was getting a little bit writer's block, I think. But that's just, realise now that's just a phase you go through. And now I'm like,
can't stop.
This record was very easy to write. I don't know what the next record will be like. You just attack things one thing at a time. But as far as the songwriting goes, this one came really easily, didn't it? So it was kind of, for us, we just had a big bunch of songs ready to go and recorded them, played them, made them sound as good as we could. And that was it, dead simple. Don't think about it too much, just put it
really
out.
helped as well that there was sort of fairly extreme emotional turbulence in your in your life at the time.
That's true.
Good fuel for it all.
It's a great patron of the arts, a bit of sorrow, but but you know, and that's kind of, you know, I suppose that did help, and that you know,
Yeah.
but I think I can draw on that stuff for years if I want to. I mean, that's the thing. You can always draw on past trauma if that's what you want to write. But sometimes you want to write something a bit different. Sometimes you want to write something, you know, come at something from a totally different angle.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a real challenge in pop music.
Oh, I really messed it up, my friend. Oh, but I hope you can help me. I hope you can help me once again.
What about advice to young guys or girls kind of wanting to get into the music industry, getting their music out there? We've got so many kind of outlets now with social media. What would kind of be your advice to them?
I think social media is brilliant. I mean, it's a soup, though, isn't it? It's a big soup of stuff. The more people do, the bigger it gets, the more people do it, the more diluted in this soup of just bleh. And I think that what you need to do,
swim through it.
you have to swim through this soup of just like endless output and deluge of and you know what? All you have to do is somehow rise above it and somehow stand out and somehow find your voice, because that's the only thing that's going to make you be original, is to have something to say that's a bit different, and not actively look for it. But I think everyone naturally has like a unique imprint, like they have their own, like a key into a lock. Everyone has their own like thing that makes them unique and makes them different, makes them stand out. And if you can tap that within yourself and find that and express that, that's the key. That's the success. Because actually I think trying to do that, trying to be different, trying to stand out, trying to get noticed, try all that stuff is bullshit. What you have to do is connect with the thing that is really truthful about you, that makes you different naturally, and then just push that and let that flow, let that come out, and then I think you've got a chance of being noticed above the noise, you know.
So if the feeling didn't exist, it'd be a very sad world. But what would you guys be doing?
That's a really good question. We've been knocking around playing in bands together. It'd just be a different band, but with the same people probably. But it could have been like a metal band, or it could have been. We've played all kinds of music. You know, the feeling in many ways was just an experiment, just one way of making music. You know, we've. You know, you were in some crazy prog outfit called Wurzel Miyagi.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good band.
Great fun. It's still available on vinyl. I think we've got about 1,500 copies of it in a shed somewhere. No, in your basement.
In my basement, yeah. They're in the basement in the pub. So if anyone wants a Wurzel Miyagi record, I'm
like
your man.
Aladdin's cave, is it? Your basement?
Yeah, of like old musical projects that never made it.
Freezers full of rotten meat, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it was all just, we'd just be doing music anyway, I think, because we don't know how to do anything else. We'd just find another way of doing it.
Oh, I never thought that it would be this hard to find love. Oh, I never thought that it would be this hard to find love.
I've got a little kind of game question for you both. Okay, so this is a watch, duet, and reject game.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to give you 3 acts. You go to see one at a gig. You get to duet with one, and the other one you just reject. So, yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of in there. I couldn't really get out. Okay, so we've got Fleetwood Mac, Codaline, and the 1975.
Right, so I've heard of Fleetwood Mac. The other two I haven't heard of, because I don't listen to any music after like 1983.
That's sad. Maybe just go on a guess. Like, what names do you prefer?
I wouldn't want to duet with Fleetwood Mac, because that would be just there's enough of them in there already. There's loads of them.
Be a choir on stage.
I mean, I'd love to, but it would be a self-indulgent thing. I don't think anyone else would love that.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm all about pleasing a crowd.
You'd have to watch them, really.
We'd have to watch Fleetwood Mac, just with big grins on our faces. We love a bit of that. And then out of the other two, it's literally flip a coin, because I am so ignorant
Well, Codaline, like an Irish indie rock kind of band, 1975, are the same sort of thing. They're English though. Did you know the single
We've got
Chocolate?
quite a lot of the Irish going on in our band because my mum's
I like
Irish.
that.
His
Yeah,
mum's
my
Irish.
mum's Irish.
So it's all Irish
like
mums
that.
galore around here.
Yeah.
So we might duet with the Irish band.
The
There
Irish
we go.
band, oh, we're flipping a coin.
No, I know we're going to flip a coin. This is a nice idea.
Okay.
We're going to flip a coin because I wouldn't want to let racial bias get in the way of this decision because otherwise we might get ourselves in terrible trouble and get ourselves shot. Codaline are going to be heads.
Okay.
Okay. Codaline are heads. This time I'm going to catch it. There we go. Tails it is.
There we go. Bye, Codaline.
I'm really sorry,
You're rejected.
Codaline. It's nothing personal. We're just ignorant.
As students come to uni, they live with new people. I guess some of you guys maybe have lived together at some point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And Richard lived with me officially for a bit
Kev
in my
did as
house
well.
after university. Kev's lived with, and
Then I lived with Rich and Paul.
you did,
And
yeah.
obviously I grew up with Kev. So
And
we
that was
lived
uni
together.
years.
So we pretty much all lived together. at
Yeah.
some point.
Okay, so I found I live with 3 boys in a house. It's quite smelly. There's some dilemmas that you get. So at home you have habits, and your family, you kind of learn these habits from your family. But we've got some classic dilemmas. You guys have to give me your opinion.
Okay.
Okay, so ketchup.
Yep.
Do you keep it in the cupboard or in the fridge?
I'm a cupboard ketchup man. I don't think it needs to be refrigerated.
Yeah. I see. I'm a fridge man.
Does it need to be cold? Isn't it a bit weird when it's
I've
cold?
never really thought about it. Just that's where it lives.
It's all made out of vinegar and sugar. I'm sure it doesn't need to. It's not going to go off, is it?
I'm a fridge girl.
I think it's a temperature preference as opposed to a kind of, there's no... Does it say refrigerate after
I
opening?
don't know. I think it is. It's definitely a temperature thing, isn't it? I like the cold going onto the hot, whatever it is, chips or whatever. I like the contrast. Yeah.
Okay, shoes, are they allowed inside? Or do you have to take them off at the door?
Depends on your carpets. Whether your carpet, it's weird, isn't
If
it?
it's dark brown carpet, don't know. Leave them on.
If it's dark brown carpet.
So most of the things at the bottom of your shoe is dark brown.
Is that the whole... Oh, wow.
I don't know. No, if you've got like a bright white carpet, you definitely have to take them off. I mean, that's a bit of a foolish choice anyway.
It's a foolish choice. You deserve all you get if you rock up in the student house with a white carpet. Maybe if it's raining. Let's be reasonable.
Yeah.
Let's be reasonable. Let's
Got to
find a middle
compromise.
ground. Let's not be extremists about this.
And the final one, do you have the radio on or the TV on?
Radio.
Yeah, have to be ready.
Good answer. We like that at Hub. We like that it's the radio. Thank you so much for speaking to me, guys. Have an amazing rest of your tour and good luck with the album.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. The Feeling, everyone.
I never thought that it would be this hard. Sometimes I get lonely. Thank you. There you go.
The sound of UWE. This is Hub Radio.